Good morning. So I have a new book for you, and I've never read it to the kindergartners yet. So this is called Iggy Peck, Architect, and it was written by Andrea Beaty and illustrated by David Roberts. And I got to meet the author at a conference and just got so excited about her books. So today is going to be an inspiration for us for our later activity that I'm going to be posting on Seesaw. Are you ready? Here's Iggy Peck, Architect. And I love this paper. Check that out. That is real engineering paper. It's a brand new book. Here we go. Iggy Peck, Architect. Don't you love how they made the words look like rulers? Young Iggy Peck is an architect and has been since he was 2, when he built a great tower in only an hour with nothing but nappies and glue. Can you tell from the picture what a nappy is? A nappy is a diaper. Good gracious, Ignatius, his mother exclaimed. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Do you see over here? But her smile faded fast as a light wind blew past and she realized that those nappies weren't clean. Oh, Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks. Okay. But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. Oh my gosh, look at his neighbors. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples and temples from modeling clay. Wow, how amazing is that? At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye and out on the porch built the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. Look at that. The St. Louis Arch is really huge and really amazing. Dear Ig had it made until 2nd grade when his teacher was Miss Lila Greer. On the very first day, she had this to say: "We do not talk about buildings in here. Gothic or Romanesque, I couldn't care less about buildings, ancient or new." She said in her lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. Uh-oh. Look at his desk. Look what he's building it with. Do you think he's paying attention to her? That might seem severe, but she was sincere. For when she was no more than 7, she had a great fright at a dizzying height in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 99th floor, young Lila got lost from the group. Oh, this is about the teacher. She was found 2 days later in a stuck elevator eating cheese with a French circus troupe. After that day, it's quite safe to say she thought all building lovers were nuts. And as a teacher, she taught that, above all, one ought to avoid them. No ifs, ands, or buts. Oh boy, that must have been really scary for her. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine getting lost in a building for 2 days because the building was so big? As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk, but he didn't hear. He sat in the rear building a castle out of chalk. Wow. You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. Tear down that castle right now. You will not build in here. Is that perfectly clear? Do you need to see Principal Howe? No, ma'am, Iggy said. He lowered his head, and his heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Now 2nd grade was just a bore. Look at his poor little face. He's all bored. After 12 long days that passed in a haze of reading and writing and arithmetic, Miss Greer took the class to Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. They crossed an old trestle to a small island nestled in the heart of a burbling stream, but they no sooner passed than the footbridge collapsed and Miss Lila Greer started to scream. "We're trapped here, oh my! Alas, kids, goodbye!" Her eyeballs rolled back in her head. She dropped to the ground with a vague groaning sound. Luckily fainted, not dead. The class was amazed. They stood there quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do, but one bright young man was off hatching a plan which started with Miss Lila's shoe. Soon, each lad and lass there at Blue River Pass was working together as one. Do you remember what lad was? Remember lad is a boy? And you remember what lass was? That's right, lass was a girl. And when she came to, Miss Lila Greer knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw hanging there a structure with cables and braces, and on the far side, beaming with pride, were 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots, and strings, fruit roll-ups and things, some of which should not be mentioned, were stretched ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge, dangling from shoestring suspension. Made a suspension bridge. It all became clear to Miss Lila Greer as she crossed that bridge over the stream. There are worse things to do when you're in grade 2 than to spend your time building a dream. Look at that. That is another bridge that's very famous, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm going to show you how to find it. Now, every week at Blue River Creek Elementary in 2nd grade, all the kids can hear, along with Miss Greer, how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker in t-shirt and sneakers talks of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course he's the guy who builds towers from pie, that brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. See? So now he's teaching everybody all about them. So today, I'm going to send you some links on how to print some of this paper. We're going to build a bridge today, and we're going to check out some amazing famous buildings. Are you ready? See you soon.